Hey guys, Jeffries here, and welcome to episode 29. 29 rings a bell. Of You Don't Win Anything with Kids, which, of course, is my Football Manager 2014 career as Jeffries United. Right, last episode we played Hayes and Yedding and just about beat them 1-0. There it is. In the last match, we played Staines and we beat them 2-0. Where is it? There it is. With goals from Kevin McGregor and Andrew Drewson, who once again is on fire this season. He's doing really well. He scored 8 goals in 15 games, which is really good. And that's just in the league. He's scored more goals in the cups as well. Yeah, our next match is against Concord Rangers. And it's an away match, and it's probably not the most interesting match on the schedule, but Concord were the first team that I played this season that I didn't beat. As you remember, it was a 0-0 draw, and it was a fairly boring 0-0 draw. So, what I thought I would do is, first of all, I want to experiment. I put Carl Hogan on the loan list. So, he's been made unavailable for loan again, and I don't know why. Does that mean that I made all these players available for loan? Why have they been made unavailable again? Also, look, if I put him on the development list. So that's where it is. Transfers centre, and then development list. Okay. So look, Connor, no interest. I don't know why, because they're really good players. I'll put Douglas Pringle on there and see what happens. We haven't got any players coming in at the moment. I'm going to do a quick search for players who are loan listed and just see if there is anyone interesting who I could bring in. I doubt there is though. You've got players like Jason Banton, who's quite promising. If there was a player I'd bring in, it would be someone like a Nicky Ajosi or a Ben Reeves. In fact, Ajosi's got horrendous stats. Ben Reeves has got good stats. So if I might. I'm tempted. I'm incredibly tempted. But then it's a question of whether do I keep to my rule of I don't sign anyone this season, or do I break my rule just because I want to sign someone? For now, I'm going to stick to the rule. That's my ideas for now. We're going to play Concord. They're third place. They're 2 places behind me. They're actually doing really well. I'm quite impressed with them. Via's back, so he's going to come in for Klotmas. Apart from that, it's pretty much as you were. I might start Johnston and put Bobo on the bench, just because Bobo's got a little bit of a fatigue going on there. And also Cartwright for Robinson maybe, or maybe not for this one. But yeah, that's pretty good. I was talking a couple of episodes ago as well about having a smaller squad, and you see, if you take out the loan players, our squad is pretty small now. We've got sort of 1 or 2 covering for each position, and that's about it. So that's kind of the squad size that I'd like to keep if I can. Maybe as young players come through the youth academy as well, and we sign a couple of players as we go along, we might get a bit of a bigger squad. But then I'd try and have a policy of if 2 players come in, then 2 players go out, kind of thing. But yeah, that's a guideline for now. We'll see how it goes. In the meantime, we've got a team to beat. So let's go. Concord Rangers, away from home. Let's see if we can win. We got the white shorts out again because Concord wear blue shorts, of course, so we can't wear our blue shorts. And in some ways, I quite like that mix actually, of the blue and red stripes and then the white shorts. You guys might not like it. That's up to you. Entirely up to you. Still haven't seen the whole home goalkeeper kit of the dark green and orange. I'm guessing the referee's wearing like a black again. Yeah, the referee's wearing black. That's why that doesn't work. We might never end up seeing that goalkeeper kit at this rate, which is quite disappointing, really, because it looks really nice. Is that 1-0? Does that count? It does. Paul Goodacre own goal. Okay, so we've scored inside 6 minutes. This game's not going to end 0-0, which is fantastic. That was actually a really good cross by Carino, and it's a shame that Wilson didn't get on the end of it. I think Goodacre was trying to be a bit of a hero and ended up heading it past his own keeper, or knocking it past his own keeper, which It's a bit of a shame. I don't tend to enjoy watching own goals, unless it's a player that I really hate. Because I always feel sorry for whoever scores own goals, even if I'm not too fond of them, because at the end of the day they are genuinely trying their best to defend and stop the ball going in, and it could end up just ricocheting off them in the wrong direction. And you know, in most cases it's entirely not their fault, and it's so unfortunate to see that happen. But you know, in this case and in this occasion, I've got to say I'm glad for it, because it does put me 1-0 up and in the driving seat. That was a good shot from... Who hit that? Was it Johnston? Might have been Johnston. I'm going to check the table quickly and see how far ahead. So we're 20 points clear. Easily have a game in hand over me, but even if they win that, I'm still going to be 17 points clear. So, you know, this is going well. This is going well. It might be borderline unrealistic at the moment with how far ahead we are, but there's been times in the past where teams have run away with it in non-league. It just happens. It's a case sometimes of who's got the biggest wage budget, or just who's got the luckiest in terms of getting the good players in. I would say we're not on the lucky side, because obviously the players have been made. We're not even working to a huge budget, because our players are on pretty low wages, and we have only spent a small amount of money, and even that was a realistic transfer. It said 250k for Stevens, but only 75k of that was up front. So, yeah, we're well within our means. We haven't spent any ridiculous amounts of money. We're not paying players ridiculous amount in wages, so it's all going well. We should hopefully win the league with a couple of games to spare. We might experiment with youth teams at that point, if we can. And then we'll push on and look for what's going to happen to us in the league above. That was poor from Delamond. He should have got that away first time when he had the chance. Carino here needs to do something productive with it. There we go. That's a good ball to Wilson. Maybe Wilson could spot the run on the far side. Nope. He's picked out Delamond, who's actually in a pretty good position. There we go. Now it comes over to Beckhold, and 2-0. Maybe you could argue that if Wilson had given it to Beckhold instead of going via Delamond, that we could have ended up with the same outcome. What matters to me most right now is that we are 2-0 up, and we're in control of the game. And a goal just before half-time as well, that can really dent a team. So hopefully that puts Concord down enough that we can just relax a little bit in the second half, control the game a little more freely, and just come away with the win. So, we're in the second half. All of our players seem to be in peak condition apart from Delamond, but he's doing well form-wise, so we'll leave him out there just to see how he goes. Looked like he got a whack again in the midfield, which, when you line up the way we do and if you play the way we do, you're going to pick up a few knocks here and there, especially if you dive into challenges quite a lot. You might get caught by a trailing leg, or you know, someone might fall on top of you, you know, little things like that. It's no biggie. You know, he's doing okay out there. He's still playing well. His match rating's actually gone up by 0.1, so it's just gone up by 0.1 again actually. So yeah, it doesn't look like it's affecting him too much. McConnor on the other hand has just taken a whack as well, so we'll do a change in the engine room. We'll bring McGregor on for McConnor. Like for like swap basically. One angry Scotsman for another. Is that the change? Yep, there's the change. McGregor is now on. Actually, McConnor and McGregor, I think it was McConnor I put on the loan list, but I'm a huge fan of both of them. If you've got two players in midfield, you always have like the flair player and the hard man. And in this case, Delamond, he is a bit of a hard man, but he's more of the flair player. So he'll pick the ball up, he'll do a few fancy flicks and tricks, and he's got like the 30-yard thunderbolt in his locker as well. And then you've got the player like McGregor and McConnor, who, tackling-wise and defence-wise, they've got all the tricks. Like, they'll go in hard, they'll go in tough, they'll win the ball, things like that. But then once they've got the ball, they'll try and keep things simple. So they'll look for the easy pass, or they'll look for the little square ball out wide. They can still hit it from distance, and they can still score from distance, but they're more likely to look for the pass than to score. That was a poor goal to concede. Harry Elms. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so you end up with that real good balance in your midfield. you know, the engine room, as some people would call it. You've got the creative player playing alongside the man who's sort of going to drop a little bit deeper and help the defence and, you know, build the barrier in front of the goalkeeper, basically. Whereas you've got your creative player who's going to run forward and help the attack, keep the flow going. So yeah, kick taken by Quintaka. Delamon with the header. Cartwright into Stevens, he's played it forwards. Intercepted before I got to Wilson, which is a bit of a shame. Wilson's actually been really quiet recently. I don't know whether he's just lost a bit of form, or, you know, if the supply to him hasn't been as good as it was earlier on in the season. But he's gone very quiet. He's not scoring as much, which is a little cause for concern. Might do him good just to leave him out of the squad for the next match or two. Is that Beckhold for 3? No. Good save. Actually, whilst I can, Beckhold's been booked, so I'll bring Bobo on. You can see he's not having the best game, Wilson, so I'll bring Drewson on as well. You know, we'll beef up the attack for the last 10 minutes of the game, see if that makes a difference. Should that have made the subs there? Oh, no, there's Wilson. He's just scored. So, we'll bring Bobo on still. In fact, we'll do both of them. Oops. Not supposed to happen. Well, I don't know why the game glitches like this. Someone tell me why it does this. Why can't it just make a sub when you tell it to? Anyway, Keith Wilson. That's his 8th goal of the season. So he's scored as many goals as Drewson now. That was impressive, actually. That was a good ball in from Gregor. And then he just came running in at the front post and knocked it past the keeper. So, yeah. We really do flood their box. I think we have 9 players in the box and then 2... No, that doesn't work. 8 players in the box and then 2 holding back on the halfway line. I think that's how it works. Just to stop the counter attack and, you know, to provide an extra threat in case the ball does pop out. So yeah, we made all our 3 changes as usual, and I think that's going to be full time now as well, actually, with a nice little 3-1 victory. Considering the last time we played Concord, we drew 0-0, and it was a bit of a boring game. I think I included that in this series. If you have watched it, I apologise profusely for the boredom that must have ensued when you watched that. 0-0 draws are never exciting. There's no such thing as an exciting 0-0 draw. So yeah, to score 4 goals in this game between both teams, of course, definitely an improvement. And the fact that we're on the winning side as well, 3-1, that's brilliant. Delamon rightly winning man of the match with his 2 assists. And that's that. So, yet again, this is a slightly shorter version. It's not a version. Shorter episode of this series. They're normally around 15 minutes, but this one stops at around probably about 13 by the time I finish talking. So yeah, time for the end of video spiel. So, thank you very much, guys, for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, be sure to click the subscribe button. If you have subscribed to my channel, thank you for your continued support. And until next time, guys, I will see you soon.